guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. Today I have a review for you. It's been a little bit since I've done a review, so I decided that it was time. Unfortunately, this review is not a positive one, and this is on The Face That Must Die by Ramsey Campbell. You guys knew how excited I was when I did my TBR that I finally get to read this book. I was saving it and sitting on it until spook season comes along, and it was just disappointing for me. Reading the book or reading the synopsis and hearing about how great Ramsey Campbell is as a horror writer, and this is about a murderer, a psychotic killer, and I was just expecting this great psychological thriller, and it was going to be exciting and creepy and all those good things that come along with psychological thrillers, and it wasn't really any of that. I was disappointed with the plot and the characters and just about everything except the illustrations in the book, which is why I gave it 2-star rating, because it does have great illustrations, one being the cover, and then here's one, and here, the illustrations were fantastic, and they were covering specific parts in the book, and those were the parts that I most enjoyed and I was interested in, and it grabbed my attention and I was in the moment. But those parts that were kind of slow and confusing, those kind of outweighed those parts that were appealing. I found the book to be kind of all over the place. The writing was kind of choppy, and that led to confusion. Like, wait a minute, why am I reading this now? What has this got to do with this? And it also led to parts that were really kind of unnecessary to the story, and those parts kind of pushed the main plot to the back, and these other parts came to the forefront. Talking about people's relationship and how this woman wanted to buy a house with her husband so they could have kids, and it wasn't happening, and just stuff like that was going on. Really didn't have a whole lot to do with our psychotic killer, and it just kind of threw the whole story off, and it took me several days to get through this book, and it really wasn't a big book at all. It was 293 pages, and I just trudged through it because I thought, there's some good parts, so maybe it's going to really pick up and it's going to be excellent, and it really wasn't. The characters I found were underdeveloped. Even Horridge, our psychotic killer, was not a psychotic killer really at all. I found him to be indecisive and kind of mundane and not what your typical psychotic killer would be. Nothing was really planned. It was more like, well, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens kind of thing. And it really took away from the story. I just did not find him. He was not a good person by any means, but he was far from malevolent, if that makes sense. And it just kind of put a damper on the story, because Horridge is not this evil person, this creepy person that I was expecting. He had mental issues for sure. That was apparent. But other than that, yeah, it was just okay. There was, and the only reason it was okay was because of those illustrations and those parts that, made the story interesting. If you read a part and then you get to see the illustration to it, that was good. I can't really recommend this book to anybody because I didn't enjoy it. Someone may enjoy it if you like those easy, kind of laid back psychotic killers. I don't know. He just does not fit the bill for what I look for in a psychological thriller with a psycho killer in it. So, that's about all I have to say about this. It was very disappointing. Everything about it was disappointing except those illustrations, and yeah, and that's about all I can say. If you've read this book, let me know. We can maybe talk about what you thought about it. If you're thinking about reading, go ahead and give it a shot if you'd like, form your own opinion on it. But for me, it just wasn't there. It just fell really, really flat. So that is my review, guys, on this book. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.